All right, all right. It's Thankful Thursday. Get it on up, wake it up, rise and shine, claim your day. Know that no matter what's going on in your life, it is always something to be grateful for. You can be
Always.
thankful for something. Waking up your eyes, I don't care if you feel like, oh, I don't know what today is going to be like. Be grateful that it's an opportunity for you to shift how the day is going to be. Right? We living in a time where the day is whatever you want to make it.
Whatever you want to make it.
Whatever you want to make it, grab it, seize it, be empowered in it. Know that you can make a decision and a choice, but know that you are making that decision. You can go to God and say, God, you know what? Holy Spirit, help me to see this day as another amazing day, as a gift. That's why they call it the present, because it's a
Yes.
gift to you,
It's
right?
a gift for
When I
every day of our
it's
life.
so cute. It's the present. So it's like a gift to you. And it is, every day be grateful. So we are grateful for Miss Phyllis for showing up this morning. Thank you so much for being here. Miss Patricia, glad to see you. Cynthia Lewis, you as well. To everybody who will tune in later or catch us on the replay, know that we appreciate you. Miss Doris said, baby, don't leave me out because I'm
Good
in.
morning.
Good morning, Miss Doris. I need you all to understand that we have been talking about becoming her for a minute and becoming him. We focus a lot on her, but
But we
understand that,
talking about him.
him, you're included too. It's all about you as well. We want everybody to be the best version of yourself because God, y'all remember back in the day, we said, God don't make no junk. He most definitely does
Not
not.
at all.
Not at all. Don't look
Not at all.
in that way. And if you are, then you need to spend some time with him because you are a masterpiece. There's greatness all inside of you. And you need to grab a hold of that principle and understand and then move like that all the time.
Just like
Move
that. How you
excellence,
move just like that.
just like that. Yes. Move in excellence, move in greatness,
Yes.
move in
It's so crazy, Angela, how when you used to say I'm all that and you speak confident about yourself, people would tell you to no, dim down a little bit. Don't be cocky. Like who started the don't be cocky? Like you should be.
somebody who didn't believe in themselves. Somebody
Facts.
who was having problems
Facts.
recognizing it in them, and so therefore they felt
You're
like,
right. Yep.
mm-mm.
Yes.
Your light's too bright.
Your light is too bright.
And
No,
you know how
it's
many
not bright
like
enough.
people will say your life is like that's too like life can't be that great. Like you act like you like life never hits you hard. Just because life hits you hard don't mean that you have to walk down with your head hung down. And even God said when you're fasting, nobody should know you're fasting. They
Right.
should
You might
not
be
be
over
able
here
to
looking
look
all
at
broke
you.
down and miserable. No, clean, wash your face and show your behind up.
Yes, you
Like,
should be like, "Oh, girl,
it's
because I've been
amazing.
on this 21-day fast. What's going on with you, girl? I know I ain't
Girl,
ate
I
in
need
two
a
hours.
cookie.
Girl, you ain't
I
ate in
need
two
a
hours."
cookie and some ice cream. But you know what? At the end of the day, when we talk about that, really, when you talk about Daniel, they said Daniel looked better than everybody, baby. He was eating
I said
fruits and vegetables,
because the
drinking
description of
that
him,
juice.
he was fine.
Baby,
Boy,
they
he was
said Daniel
fine.
was glowing, baby, the glow up. So understand that even in the midst of your hardest trials, You don't have to look like what you've been through. God can restore all things unto you, but you've got to be an open and willing vessel.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times we ask for things, but we're close to it, really. Because if you're praying for a good man or a good woman, and there's somebody right in your face that would be the best blessing you would ever think to put in
Yes.
your life, but you don't see it because they don't look like what you thought it was going to.
Yes, I remember what I like my grandmother, she had wisdom without even like her wisdom was so strong. You just walk out of the house looking at her. She said, "You look like you ready to have a bad day." I mean, she was just calling out. You look like you getting ready to have a bad day, boy. You gonna have a bad. Look at you. Look at you. You got bad. Come follow me. Bad. Come follow me. And she
Ooh,
didn't
come
realize
on,
the
girl.
manifestation that she was like. That's manifestation. Like she was like, you look like it. You look like you going through it.
You're inviting the negative to come with you. You just like I woke up in a bad mood and I just need everything negative because if you talk to me, I'm gonna get you. If
Yeah, she
you
was like,
talk
you
to me,
look like it.
yeah, you look like hey, nuck if you buck. Look, nuck if you buck. No, that's not the season that we're in. We're not in
No.
this lifestyle. Going forward, we are embracing peace. We are embracing calmness. We are
Mhm.
embracing being in situations that are drama free. We want to be in a place where everything is good. You know, it's say
Yes.
all is good. We say it's gonna. What's that song? The little guy say it's gonna be a good day, and
It's
that's
a good day. Good
such a
day.
cute little song, and it's so got a
Yes.
little bounce like yay, it's gonna be a
Yes. The
good day.
sun.
Seems like
I
you
can't tell you the words without him singing it. Now
look,
when he played it, I can get I right with him
Natasha,
when it's playing.
I was like,
I
It's
was
a good day.
waiting.
It's a whole
I was
chord.
waiting for it, and then she just like flatlined.
right. I felt it in my spirit like her grandma. No, let me leave it alone.
Yeah.
Look at
But
right on.
great day.
Fade to black.
Just look it up. Just look it
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Just
Okay.
look it up. Just
Yeah, it's
look it
okay.
up.
I mean, you got it.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't ask for all that though.
I was going to say, yeah, we didn't, yeah. But it's
Oh,
okay. Appreciate it.
but he on my top. He's at the very top.
Yes, very good, very good. So listen, y'all know I said we were talking about becoming her, becoming him. We talked about this week emotional addiction, and there's so much connected to that.
The
See,
sun is
you can
shining
come on in her
down on
spirit, and here
me.
she goes.
I'm about to have a good day.
It's, the show is turning into something completely different.
Right, right, right. I was like,
I
look,
told you I'm with him when when you
Natasha,
hit
we have went
play.
down the rabbit hole. Look,
We standing on the court when he hit play. Let's go.
we went down the rabbit hole, everybody.
Yes, you did.
We did.
Oh, let's talk about what we're gonna talk about because I feel like y'all
It's
getting ready to get on me. So let's go on and talk about
feel
what
I
we.
feel like it's going to be a great day.
Yes, thank you, Natasha. So let's pull it on because I wanted Natasha to really dig into because we talk about a lot of stuff, but you know how somebody says, okay, if you're talking about it, well, what's the solution? How can I get past that? If you want to do something, okay, give me some ideas. Don't just say, well, what we need to do. Well, then what happens? I mean, give me something. Okay, so what do I need to do to change it then? You keep telling
Yep.
me you don't need to be emotionally addicted. Okay, well then how do I stop? And so that is where Natasha's expertise comes in, y'all, where she gets to, giving us some information because we don't want to keep talking about things without giving you practical stuff, without, breaking it down so that because the reality is we say all the time, well, that's not my problem. When in reality it probably is. If you got
Hmm.
down to the root of it, it is. But we're gonna give you what they say, if this does not apply to you, just look straight ahead but get the information so you can share it with
They
somebody.
say just keep going
Yeah,
straight.
keep looking straight. But take the information because somebody else may need it. And sometimes when you help somebody else, in
Help you.
return, you help yourself. So, Natasha,
Into that.
when we talk
So
about this emotional dependence, what is that? And
so
how can
that
we get past
so
it?
that emotional dependence, emotional addiction that you used yesterday, something I realized that we didn't cross reference it to is codependency. And A lot more people have heard the word codependency, but I don't
Hmm.
think a lot of people know what codependency is. A
Right.
lot of times they're like, well, my loved one is dependent on me, I'm not dependent on them. And it's not necessarily that you're dependent upon the person, it's you're dependent upon the person for something, right?
Okay.
And so I just kind of want to recap what contributes, what are we actually seeking when we find ourselves in an emotionally dependent relationship,
Hmm.
i.e., a codependent relationship. We are oftentimes seeking reassurance, safety, connection, validation, comfort, and rest, peace, right?
Hmm.
That's primarily what we're looking for. So, what does that mean? That means growing up, and a lot of people hear this word and they freak out. So they say, well, I didn't come from trauma. If there was dysfunction, if there was chaos in your upbringing, your primal needs that we talked about yesterday would not have been sufficiently met. And when your primal needs aren't sufficiently met, we are looking for that safety, because safety is one of our primal needs, right? That peace, that calmness, the love, the affection, right? The affection and the love, that's part of the reassurance. So these are the things that we need in order to thrive.
Hmm.
So it's very important for us to understand that when you are in these emotionally addicted relationships, or you find yourself not being able to get out of the relationship, like there's this intellectual part of your brain that says, I know this is wrong. I know this
Mm-hmm.
isn't healthy for me, but yet I stay.
Mm-hmm.
The first rule of thumb, or the first thing to do, is you being aware. Why
Mm.
am I staying here? And so the awareness of why I'm staying here and asking yourself that question is when we talk about coping skills, that's the first step in your coping skills is, am I aware of what I'm doing? Am I aware of my behaviors? Right?
Right.
So I've got a couple questions. I have a few, but I'm going to maybe throw out three of them to kind of keep this simple. So if you recognize after what we've talked about that you are in emotionally dependent, codependent relationship with someone in your life, the best way to identify that is ask yourself, do I need their attention to be
To be
okay?
whole, okay.
Right? Do I need them to tell me I'm beautiful? Do I need them to compliment me? Do I need them to acknowledge me? Right? If I need you to be doing something for me in order for me to be good, in order for me to be okay, that's the first step of awareness, that you're recognizing that what you're needing shouldn't come from an outside source. It needs to be coming from within. Right? So the first question is that you're going to ask yourself is, do I need their attention to feel okay? Another one is, does their mood determine mine?
Ooh.
So Sparkle talks about she's having a great day, right? But then if she's codependent with someone, and if she's aware of it, she will very easily realize, let's say she picks up a phone call, I'm going to use her daughter for example. Her daughter's having a bad day. And the minute she talks to her daughter, that great day and that song Sparkle was playing this morning all of a sudden goes right out the window, because now she's matching her daughter's energy. Now she's aligning with that mood,
Mm-hmm.
right? What we're doing in those moments are we are allowing someone else's mood,
To
someone else's
determine.
attitude, absolutely, to dictate you, to
That's
dictate
good.
how you're feeling. And that's where we give away power, and that's where people control us. And we do
Ooh.
that without even realizing it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because you know people can relate to that. You
Oh,
know
absolutely.
that you know that
Hmm.
that's real talk. Because we talk about real talk, right? So
Yep.
this that's raw, but real. Like
It's the truth.
it's so true because especially when it's somebody that's that close to you, that that's connected to you. So
Attached.
it does make you, oh, because if she going through it, I'm going through
You're
it too.
through it.
You know how you hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, if
Hmm.
my best friend going through it, I'm going through it too. If she ready to fight, I'm ready to fight.
Or you shift how you are. That's like even in the mornings. So for those who, if you're not familiar with StreamYard, it's a it's like a virtual back office type
Yeah.
thing, you know. And so what y'all see when we go live, y'all can see us, but when we're not live, we're behind, we're still in the virtual room, like on Zoom. Most people are more familiar with Zoom, but you know how you can be on there. When I come on, y'all know Sparkle is high energy, right? Well, what if I came on and said, she'd be like, good morning. And I'm like, hey girl. Then, you know, she's, for some people, that's like, well, wonder what's wrong with her. Well, here she goes. She always, you know, spoil the mood, everybody happy and stuff. And it shifts you from not having
Hmm.
a day, like Natasha said. Sometimes it's you absorbing, like you said, the energy. But I was
Yeah, it's a sponge.
it's a sponge, and it should not, like we were talking about the thermostat and the thermometer, it shouldn't change you. You should be in a good mood. Whether somebody else, if they want to be funky, let them be funky on their own. They don't have to, they don't need you to join in the funk with them, right? But I looked at a movie last night where this girl, because y'all know we're in the world of internet dating, right? And so she had a guy that was reaching out to her, you know, of course he had a fake name, you know, and she would check all the time, constantly checking her phone to see if he was responding, to see if he said anything, to see what he know. And when she didn't see where he was responding, when he was talking, she was in a good mood, laughing and happy, and you know they were flirting through the phone. And then he would, you know, ghost her. And then she was like,
Gosh.
if you don't respond in a minute, then you know we're done.
Mm.
And
Mm,
he
mm,
wouldn't,
mm.
but she was constantly checking the phone to see what was going on, not realizing it's a whole ulterior motive that he has. You know how they say people catfish you, right?
Yep.
He wasn't catfishing, but he was connecting with her because it was an ulterior motive. But she had no idea about that. So for
Hmm.
her, it's like, I love how he makes me feel when he talks, when we're chatting back and forth and texting and all this stuff. And oh my God, he said, ah, she was telling her friend. But as soon as she didn't have any response from him, then she got sad. Then her friend was like, what's wrong? She's like, well, he's not responding. She's like, well, then dump him. You don't know him. But she's like, but still, I want to see. And for a lot of us, that's how we are. You get with somebody, you're like, okay, so I sent you a message 30 minutes ago. You hadn't even responded. What's wrong with you? Are you okay? We get focused on that, Natasha, and that's dependent behavior.
Yeah, well, and it's not even so much you get hyper focused, but you're not realizing in that moment how much you're allowing somebody else to control you. And
Yeah.
these dating shows are funny to me because you don't know them from Adam, you don't know them from a hole in the wall, but all of a sudden now everything they say to you is golden. But again, this kind of comes back to, not kind of, it comes back to what we talked about this past week of when we are insecure and we do not know our worth, we'll hold on to just about anything to define
Because
our worth.
because anything is better than nothing.
Nothing. Correct. Correct. So coming back to the being aware, the first question we asked was, do I need their attention to feel okay? The second one was, does their mood determine my mood? And I've got two more questions for you. And these two I just experienced this past weekend, and they're pretty powerful, and a lot of us tend to ignore them. But my third question that you want to ask yourself is, am I abandoning my own needs to keep the connection?
Mm.
How many of us sacrifice our time, give up what we need to do for ourselves because we want to accommodate someone else, and we use it in the name of love,
Who we use?
right?
I'm glad you
Love
said
is
Go
a
ahead,
use
whole
it.
lot
Sparkle.
of stuff, don't it? Love is like, baby, don't put my name in it because I ain't got nothing to do with it.
I'm like, I sit up and minding my own business. How did I get in this?
Love said, who told you to put me in it? Because I ain't got nothing. Look, what's love got to do with this? Nothing.
Well, that's what we always say. I love you. You know, that's my kid. That's my husband. That's my this. That's my that. And I got to do it for them because I love them. Right.
But do you
And
love
now,
you?
and
But
9
do
out of 10,
you love
love
you?
you.
Because that's because when you love you, you don't pass out love like that.
Well, when you
Love,
love you, you don't abandon yourself.
yeah.
You take that quick check to self to say, okay, what is it that I need? Because
Hmm.
until I'm not able to meet my needs or allow the Lord to work in me for those needs to be met, I say this to people all the time. Imagine how you show up. How
Hmm.
can you love someone when you don't even love yourself? Now, a lot of people want to argue with me or challenge me on this
Yeah.
question, and
I'm
I want
telling you.
people to really think about this, right? In 1 Corinthians 13, it starts off with love is kind, love is patient, love doesn't judge. I'm going to start with those three right off the rip. Are you kind to yourself?
Come on.
Are you patient with yourself? Do you not judge yourself?
Come on.
And if you're not able to do that for you, how do you go out in the world and love in a way that's kind? You love in a way that is not judgmental. You love in a way that's patient. We pretend to think that we're going out there. And I know this is why a lot of people have a really hard time with me, because they're like, man, girl, you just coming straight for the jugular, right? You're just coming straight for the throat.
Yeah,
No.
grab it.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it's we throw that word around so loosely. Oh, I love them. No, this rolls into my next question. The reason why you claim to love them so much and you abandon yourself, because most oftentimes we fear that if we say no, that distance and rejection would lead to abandonment.
Yes.
It would lead to them abandoning
Especially if
us.
you have had abandonment in your
Correct.
life.
Trauma, dysfunction, chaos in your life that is unresolved. There
Yeah.
is this rooted, getting to the root of it, there's this rooted fear that if I don't give in, if I don't say yes, they're not going to stay. And that trauma, chaos, and dysfunction that I've been in is going to repeat itself. So rather than repeat something that I know causes me pain, let me go ahead and not love me. Let me go ahead and not abandon me today.
Abandon me.
We'll get to me later.
Yeah.
And then later never comes.
Yeah.
And then
I'm,
you do that on repeat, and that's where that dependency forms over time, and that's where that codependent relationship continues to unfold. And then we get mad when the other person doesn't reciprocate what we're giving to them. But the reality is they also don't know how to love you because they don't know how to love themselves.
and that's why y'all connect. Like, if you want to keep
Attract.
it 100, the reason why y'all together is because you don't love you and he don't love you, him,
Trauma
or
bond.
or just a friend too. The
Because you
reason
know
why
how they
y'all
say
connect,
hurt people hurt people.
yeah,
Hurt souls attract hurt souls.
it's
Yep.
attractive
Yep.
because then I don't have to
It's
battle with it.
familiar.
Like, and then when you try to get with somebody that's on the healing journey and this person is still broken, that broken person spirit is going to say, I don't like her, because she's gonna try to pull that out of me, and she's
Yep.
gonna make me have to face things. I don't like the
Yep.
way she talks to me. I don't like the way she
Ask too many questions, girl. She's on
she
my nerves. Oh my
asks too
God. It's
many
not about her.
questions.
She asking me some questions. Girl, leave me alone. Stop asking me
Alone.
questions.
She always want to do something. She weird. She want to do something different. And like, girl, let's just go to the movies. No, let's walk in the mountains. They like, girl, if you don't get your butt to this movie and watch this movie, like, it's just that immediately when you talk to somebody, spirits recognize spirits.
Yeah, so that's where alignment comes in, right? We're no longer in alignment with each other. What you talked about earlier is what we call a trauma attachment, a trauma bond. I have
Okay.
unresolved trauma, you have unresolved trauma. Together we align in the trauma, which is what creates that toxicity, over time in the relationship. Now you have that one person who's on the healing journey and starting to bloom and starting to grow. We're going to grow against each other. It's kind of like weed and new grass, so
Yeah.
to speak, right? I'm not a gardener, so why the Holy Spirit is giving this analogy, because I don't garden to save my life, right? But you've got this
Let
new
him
grass
use
that's
you.
you've got this new grass that's coming in, and then you have these weeds over time. The grasses it's not going to grow, all of it does
It,
not grow into the weeds.
no, it
There's
says
some of
get
that
away
grass
from
that
me.
actually grows, absolutely, right? And so what we have to be ready for those of us that are on that healing journey, and when I tell you this speaks to me, I literally just went through this with family this weekend. I am i'm the one that everybody's quick to say, oh, you think you're better than, you think you're arrogant, you think you're this, you think you're that, and I hear all of this sort of negative stuff coming down the pipeline. It's
Mhm.
not that I'm arrogant. It's not that I'm cocky. It's I've worked really hard in identifying who Natasha Khan is.
But
I've worked really
Natasha, you
hard,
are. That's not. Why do people make that a bad? That's not a
but
bad word.
true, it has a negative connotation to it. But I don't perceive me as this person. I'm not out here boasting and blasting myself. I'm just confident in knowing who I am, and I'm
I was
certain
going
in
to
that.
That's
say,
what I'm
that's
saying.
what
I'm
It's
Dion
certain in
part
said.
that.
of
It's not
just
arrogance, it's confidence.
Yeah.
It's confidence in who God created you to be. And once you
Absolutely.
know who you are and you know whose you are, then you should walk in confidence as well. It shouldn't be a level of intimidation because somebody else walks through the door and they feel good about who they are. If I come through the door and I feel cute and I know that I look cute, I
I'ma
don't
Be
need
walk in
cute.
there
I'm
Be
not
like,
cute.
for you to
yes.
But the
ask
thing
me
is,
how do I look. Because I already know. I don't need you to validate that for me when
But
I
but
know.
but most
there's
of the
that
time,
word,
it's not
validate.
even you trying to walk in there like that. That's just who you are. Angela is a person that's just who she is. When she walks in the room, she demand not she
She
demands
commands.
attention.
She commands attention,
She
and there's a
commands
difference.
attention,
Correct.
and she's a like believe it or not, Angela is one of those like really put me way back in the back, like all the way in the back,
Correct.
and don't
Don't
even
call me a
don't
fool.
even say my name. Don't even acknowledge.
Thank you.
Same. Angela, I'm the
Truth
same
be
way.
told,
I'm this
don't
really
call me
bright light, but I
a fool.
want to be in the corner with my bright light. I don't need
She
to be
might
center
have
stage.
wrote helped you publish 500 books. What she don't want you to do,
Don't tag me.
don't.
She said,
You ain't
don't
gotta
tag.
tag me. I'm good. It's okay.
I already know. You and I know. And I accept your appreciation. What the other people have to say. But I'm saying,
Agreed.
but people acknowledge her just because of who she is and what she stands for. So it's not that she walked in the room and said, everybody, hey, attention.
Look,
Well, Angela made a really good point there
She
just
did
now,
like
and
this.
it comes back to if you're needing acknowledgement, if you're needing validation, if you're needing reassurance from other people, from an external source, right? Drugs, alcohol, sex, money, job, performance, people, whatever. If you're seeking something external of you to feel reassured, to know your worth, to be acknowledged, to be recognized, like, come on, if we're being really honest with ourselves, we know why we do what we do, right? We know it. So the sooner that you acknowledge it, you're aware of it
But
and you acknowledge it,
you don't want to acknowledge it because once you tell God you know,
you got to do something about it. You got to do the work. I
so
mean,
it's easier to say I don't know, I don't know.
exactly. Or easy to say that ain't me. Is it though? Is it? You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
So that awareness is the first step to your healing, is to get honest with yourself and get honest with God. And trick, God already knows. He just wants you to confess it. That's
Yeah,
all. You ain't gonna say nothing to him that is gonna shock, that shock him and is gonna surprise him. He already knows. But
Exactly.
one thing that I've found with myself is that when I get honest with myself, it is very freeing and
whew,
very liberating because I am not pretending to be something that I'm not. I am flawed. I am
yeah,
perfectly imperfect. And when I recognize that there's the areas of my life that needs to improve, then I go to God and say, okay, clean me, rid me of
yeah,
that, help me work through that because I want to be the best version of me. I want to be operating in my highest self and I want to be in alignment with the spirit. I no
yeah,
longer want to be in alignment with the things of this world. So that awareness is everything. Okay.
yeah,
So if you're taking notes and you're writing your coping skills down, be aware of how you're behaving and what's your motive behind how you're behaving, right? My sponsor used to always ask me that. What's your motive for doing what you're doing?
for sure.
Because
Why?
you're exactly, your feelings is very important. So we come back to the emotions again. Your feelings drive the way you behave.
Mm,
So if you feel insecure, if you feel sad, if you feel or you and or believing I'm not good enough or I'm not deserving, your feelings and your limiting beliefs, that's the tell all right there. That's what's driving those behaviors
mm-hmm.
of seeking validation, seeking reassurance, and needing and staying in places that you have no business being or staying longer than you've been invited.
Yeah.
You've overstayed your welcome, right?
And
So,
and I'm glad you're saying emotions because you feel when you have overstayed your welcome. You know when you have like
mhm.
you. I didn't know he wanted me to
You should put
go.
it on other people's thing, because say if somebody's been at your house and they were supposed to be there 3 days and they were like, oh, girl, shoot, I'm going to stay 2 weeks. And you're like,
No, you're not. Like
So
it,
in the mornings, it's good morning. In the morning, like,
mm,
hey, which one?
because the really what you really thinking is you still here,
Right.
but
And for
And then
most
you won't, and
people,
then you
you
don't say
can't cover
anything.
that up. You can't come because there's a change in your tone of voice, and
Mhm.
even though it may not be nasty, if I say, "Oh, hey, how you sleep?" versus "Good morning, girl. I'm so glad you're still here. What do
Yeah.
you want for breakfast, girl? I was gonna whip us up some pancakes. Is that good?" It's a
And
whole
that's even people that you truly love. Just
hey.
because you truly love them
Don't mean
does
I want
not
you to be
mean
here
they
forever.
can't overstay.
Right,
Like
right.
my daughter and
It's
I love
only
each other,
because you
but I'm telling
created a
you,
routine.
You
after
gotta
that
go.
weekend, you like
You gotta go.
you
You gotta
gotta
go.
Love you, but gotta go.
yeah. Or it's like, I need to like Angela and my daughter watch movies together, but they ain't been together all from sun up to sundown.
Thank you.
They're enjoying that movie because I'm okay with this 2 hour, but 24/7, like
We all need to have limits again, but when we talk about, so you have to think about, right? Addiction is it's a chronic illness. Addiction isn't something that just happens overnight. It's not something you just started doing yesterday. It's not something you just started doing a couple months ago.
hmm
These are behaviors that we learned in early childhood. So you're talking about something that is
that
decades in
yeah,
the making, right? And the more that you ignore it, the more unaware you are. And the more unaware you are, the less likely you are going to turn a corner and do things different. Everyone gets focused on, ooh, look at that behavior. And, ooh, you need to change that. No one has any idea what's the driving force behind the behavior.
yeah,
And if you can't get to the root of the issue, hence the name of my program, of my business, if you don't get to the root of the issue, that behavior won't change. You may try to change it for a day. You may try to change it for a season, and next thing you know, you're back to being that way again. You're like, well, when did that creep in all of a sudden? It didn't creep in. It's been there because you haven't gotten to the root of the issue,
yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Because you haven't gotten to the root of the issue. It
Correct.
that was and this is touching me so much because that's where my healing journey started. That God came back and said, "You don't love me. You don't even love yourself." Like
Mm.
that's a hard hit when you are praising God and praising Him, and He turns around and says, "Girl, shut up with all that love stuff." Like you don't even love you. So why you over there
Won't
talking?
God gut punch you and do an uppercut at the same time, baby? God holds, girl.
And then
God
they get
will.
mad at me. Not that I'm God, but just to be clear. But then they get mad at me when I throat punch you. When God throat punches you, it's a
Baby,
whole other level of
I
throat
mean,
punch.
what
your
I
whole head
said,
come
but
off.
but my reaction, my immediate response was, "Whatever, God. I don't even like hit you. Like how you gonna snap on
Not you.
God and go
Yeah, not
off
you
on
dismissing
Him
God.
because you asking Him for help, but now you want to be mad because
And
I gave
when he
you the
tells you the truth,
Well, that happens to me with my clients. My clients say they want to work with me, and then they start working with me like, well, damn, that was kind
yeah,
of
she get
hard.
on my nerves. And you still working with Natasha? Nope.
nope.
Why? Girl, she was doing too much.
She's not for me.
Yeah,
Everybody,
Yeah,
she's
for
not
me.
for me.
she's not
That's
for
the
me.
line.
She's not for me.
But
Like,
you know what, Natasha? I'm gonna say this because sometimes people we hear what we're talking about and it sounds good, but they don't apply it to themselves because they do
Hmm.
feel like it's not for me. But you take a simple thing like somebody says, you talk to somebody on a pretty frequent basis, and then you look up and say, you know what? I hadn't heard from such and such a person. They hadn't called in a while. Why is it that a lot of people's immediate thought is, well, I don't know what's wrong with them because I ain't did nothing to them. I hope they ain't mad at me about nothing because I ain't said nothing. Why would you? Why is that your immediate
that's your
response?
immediate
That is something
response.
that you did because even as children we tend to think that when they talk about parents getting divorced, the child absorbs that and think, well, what did I do? Was it my fault that it happened? We
Yep.
tend to take the simplest things because if somebody
Yes.
hasn't called you,
What did I do to
you call
her?
them and say, hey, I haven't checked
But
up, talked to you.
can I tell you how self-centered, and I'm going to use that word because I need somebody out there to hear it. Do you know how self-centered that is? Because we are immediately taking that personal. and making it about us. You have no idea what is going on in that person's
Yes. How
world.
about you pray for them? Or how
Why?
about you call and say, hey, you on my mind. I know we haven't talked in a while. I hope everything good. I'm just,
Yep.
making sure.
Well, they will still do that, Angela. They'll still say those words, but
But when
in
they
the deep, it's like, but they'll say those words.
Yeah, but then they will call you and be like, "Oh, I didn't hear from you. Why didn't you call me? What's going on? Did I
Oh,
do something wrong?" It's like, bro, like,
Oh, and
no,
don't miss not returning their phone call.
I'm.
Uh, they text you, call. You said you was gonna call them back, and you didn't.
right. Now they swollen side eye. Oh, now you want to call. Oh, okay.
She's
I
so
ain't got time for
swollen.
you today.
We sit here and we the three of us may chuckle about this, but I hope people are listening. But this is we take things so personally, and
We
the reason
Yes,
why we
we
do.
take it
do.
Yeah,
that's
nothing to
why
do with it.
We
that's why I
do.
love the four agreements with Don Miguel Ruiz, because he
Mm-hmm.
talks about that personalization, and that personalization is tied to what we believe to be true, right? And so when we are always making things about us, when in reality it's got nothing to do with us, it comes back to those emotional needs not being met. And so
Yeah.
we immediately go to, well, you're mad. You must be mad because I somehow did something to you. No, I'm just mad because I'm mad. I'm having a bad
Oh,
day. I'm
well,
human.
quiet. Do you know my husband can sit somewhere, honey, and be in his own world and
And I
be
say no.
happy? And I might be like, well, he ain't really talking. You okay? And he may be like, yeah, I'm good.
I'm straight.
And I
Yep.
might be thinking, because I like to talk. Well, I mean, or I'm sitting down like, okay, let's spend some time together. And he just like not really. Well, forget you then. I can go
Yeah,
on and
or you
go. I'm
can have
asking
your
to
attitude.
forget
I
you.
guess you got an attitude now.
Right.
Like,
What
But
you got to do with me?
here's the best part. Here's the best part. The man said he was good. Can we
Oh,
trust
but
him
you
on
really
his
aren't
word?
good. What's
baby,
really
But
wrong with you? You're not
I done went
good.
to the north, the south, the east, and the west. Like I'm trying to think. Well, what did I say? Well, what did I do? Well, let me make sure. Well, did I ask mommy? Because I know, girl, I ain't did nothing. He ain't did nothing. He quiet and he wants to. He's quiet. He don't feel like talking right now. He's good.
can you be okay with it? And here's the thing.
Yes.
First of all, let me acknowledge Miss Cynthia. Yes, I love that book as well. It's a book that was introduced to me in early recovery, and it has changed my life because it tells you not to take things personal, and it tells you not to make assumptions, because that's the other part of this
Oh,
conversation.
Yes. Yes.
Is I'm
yes.
Assumption.
assuming.
We live in an assumption-driven world. Everything
Yep.
about us assumes something. Y'all know
We
what they say
think
when
we
you
we think we know.
assume. You
Yeah.
make a what out of
You
yourself.
and
Yeah.
me. You and me.
Okay, Angela, you gonna tell them this at 7 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, make it look. Go and put it out there, girl. If they done heard it 7, they done heard it 7 a.m., 7 p.m. But you make an ass out of you and me. Listen, don't assume.
But it's the assumption that is driving you being taking it personally.
Yes.
Now if you were two different people, that ensues conflict, because now, Angela, you're operating from this place like, oh, what's wrong with him? Why is he quiet? He's not
Baby,
being
now I'm in the
truthful.
kitchen slanging
Now
pasta
you're
pans and slamming cabinet doors like, well, shoot, forget you.
and
Yeah. What?
Oh, because he wanted to be
to this
quiet.
Better not ask me for a sandwich. Better not ask me to bring he, I bet you better not call
Or
me.
I'm gonna fix this sandwich, but I'm not gonna fix it out of love. Because it's a difference when you
It
fix
is.
something
It is.
out of love or obligation.
It is. It's a whole shift in how you do things. Whereas you created drama and trauma out of a situation that didn't even call for it because
right.
the man said he was good. So if he's good,
Let him be.
And even if he's
what
not,
do you like
let
for
him
you?
figure that out. Even if he's not good and he's saying he's good, let
Then give
him.
him time to work through what that is.
Why
Without
you
sitting
feel
there
like
dropping like, you want to watch a movie?
Because in
You
an
want to watch a
emotionally dependent relationship, you need to be good for me to be good, and you're not good right now, so therefore I'm not good, and that's where
But,
that
but
or
that's
that's
where that
he's good. She
because
just
who
wants
told
to
me?
talk and he don't want to talk right now.
Right. Because
then go
my
find somebody else that wants to talk. Don't you got friends?
You
but
don't
the
want to
Get
talk
on
to
the
them though.
person of good is different for different people. For
Yep.
some days, just good is, oh, hey, babe, what you want to do? Come on, let's watch a TV, watch a movie or whatever. I bet you want to go and get something to eat or you want to get some ice cream or whatever. Other days, good may be like, I really don't feel like doing anything. I'm comfortable right where I'm at, honey. I done got my right, I'm in my right position and everything is fine. I just finished eating. I'm good. I don't need stimulation. I'm just here chilling. Why
I
would
don't need
the phone really
stimulation
has
right
to be
there.
on 10 all the time? It doesn't. Good has levels. It's a spectrum of good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Natasha's good
solid.
is sitting
My
out in
my
the heat.
good.
I might be like, I don't want sand in my behind and I don't want to be out there hot and sweating. Natasha might be like, girls are
I
sand.
love it.
I love sand on my feet. And I'm just like, girl, I feel like my booty itching every time I feel it. I don't want to do that.
Look, and that's that kind
Innocuous.
of itch that I feel like I can't get rid of. Like I took 10
Yeah.
showers and I still feel
I
like
feel like something's
sand is in
crawling
my
on me.
crack.
Look, I feel like something's crawling on me. But Natasha's in her happy space. We have to get out of the thoughts of thinking everybody has to be just like us. Just
Yeah.
because going out to eat is exciting for you, girl, we that's all we do is go out to eat. Girl,
I'm trying to get fat.
Talk or make me some of them chest squares you make, baby. Let's do that. That's fun for me. Just let me sit down here while you doing it and enjoy it.
Yes. And but guess what? That's a happy place for me. Like I love it. Like let me make them for you because I get a rock. I mean, it does something to my heart that you enjoy.
And it's good, girl. And I mean, there's something for my heart that she wants to do it, baby. Look, and I don't have to do nothing but sit back and eat it. Look, yes, I love that.
You know, with what you guys, I can't right now. With what you guys are talking about, what that does is it opens a space. It creates opportunity to allow people to be themselves. It
Mm-hmm.
allows people to be in a space where they can really embrace being themselves, loving themselves, becoming themselves, because you are that person that supports them in that endeavor, right? But most of us don't do that. Most of us are too busy. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing so
And
much?
being
Why can't you do this?
hypercritical.
What?
Like,
Correct.
oh, that's how you make yours, girl. I didn't know, girl. I didn't know that's what you put in there. Are you sure you shouldn't add some extra of vanilla
Of
or something?
whatever. Uh-huh.
Look,
It
girl,
it
I
it
don't know if I'm
requires
gonna
that much sugar, girl. It's a sugar bar. Like what do you expect?
exactly.
Or
We're
can you make it
so
with less sugar? Look, which one? If you want a sugar-free dessert, this is not a
this is not
sugar-free
it. This
dessert.
is not for you.
Just go
Right.
get you a sugar-free. I mean, like we make it so or when you make the lasagna, can you not put all that cheese in it? No, I cannot.
How about you make it? How about you come with somebody else who don't put a lot of cheese in theirs?
Yeah.
But
Oh my God.
I'm not changing mine. Obviously, you really like it, but you want to find, you know how people just got to find something to nitpick at. They can't just
Yeah.
sit down and be still and be quiet. It's got to be something. I don't care how small it is. Your hair is cute, but next time you need to, just let it air dry a little bit more. Next time you need to just, kind of, brush it out a little bit more.
It
It's the butt.
like
It's the butt. It's what follows the butt.
yeah,
Your beautiful
because
butt.
I'm one of those that for I seriously believe that butt outweighs everything that you said.
Yeah, it
So
negates it.
see,
100%.
StreamYard, it you just said butt, and now anything after the butt is what you really mean. That's really
Hmm.
what you wanted to say.
Hmm.
But I
Look, I was
understand.
like, the outfit is cute, but the earrings don't really go with it.
My
Did I
outfit.
ask you? Anyway,
Okay.
we're going to run out of time because we had a couple more things to go through.
Go, Natasha. Get us back together.
So we start by, and I have to take notes so I don't forget. So we start by being aware of the emotional dependence, being aware of why we're doing what we're doing. Then we want to take a minute to pause. So the next time you ask yourself those questions of, am I abandoning myself? Am I fearful of being rejected? If you are aware of what you're doing, that's a moment to pause. It's a moment to not get caught up in your feelings. It's a moment to not pick up the phone and want to cuss somebody out. It's a moment to not engage in whatever the behavior might look like. So let's say I am going to cancel my plans to do this for you. If I'm aware that I'm abandoning myself in that moment, I need to press pause. And then the next order of business is to check in with how I'm feeling. What am I feeling in this moment? the idea of canceling my plans to do X for you, how does that make me feel?
Mm.
Right? Now, somebody might immediately say, well, I'm angry. And I'm going to tell everybody, go out on Google, go out online, and find yourself a feelings wheel. Because there are more feelings than just angry,
See, I feel
sad,
abandoned.
anxious, right? So when you dig deep, you'll find things like abandonment. You'll find things like rejection. You'll find things like disappointment. You'll find things like resentment. So there's other emotions underneath. Anxiety, depression, and anger are symptomatic, meaning that's the body's way of reacting because of underlying emotions. There's other emotions. Think of your emotions like a layers of an onion, right? And people just want to say, well, I'm anxious. Okay, well, what are the emotions that's driving that anxiety?
Mhm.
You say that you're angry. What's driving the anger? Underneath anger is frustration, irritability, resentments, feeling rejected, right? So it's important to identify how you're feeling. Now, once you recognize how you're feeling, you want to create some space between what you feel and this urge to behave, this
Mm.
urge to, get mad, this urge to get revenge, this urge, like, Angela talked about the side eye. It's a moment to check yourself. I call, it's your personal inventory. It's recognizing, like, okay, I'm feeling abandoned right now. What is it that I'm wanting to do in this moment? Now, sometimes when we feel abandoned, some of us may want to go into isolation. We may
Mhm.
want to withdraw. We may not want to
Mhm.
do anything. Now we're canceling plans altogether,
Mhm.
right? Or we say yes to catering to whatever that person wants, but now we're coming in with an attitude,
Mhm.
right? And or we're coming in a very, depressive state. Whatever it
Okay.
is. This is just an example for people to recognize, if I am not aware of how I'm feeling, then I'm not going to be aware of how I'm going to behave, because it's instant. Remember, we've been
Mm.
doing this for a really long time. So it's conditioned, right? Most people skip over their feelings and they just act out. And they're like, well, I don't know why I did that. Yeah, you do. If you sat down long enough and look in a mirror, you'll know exactly why you did what you did, because you were feeling X, Y, and Z, right? This is the hard work right here. This whole press pause. How am I feeling? What am I wanting to do? That requires work. That requires you to look in a mirror, and that is something a lot of people don't want to do. We too busy looking in our mirror to see if our hair's good, if our fit's right, if our makeup's done well. That's what we're using the mirror for. We're not
Mhm.
actually using the mirror to look within ourselves to say, okay, you know what? Hold up a minute. I am
Yeah.
looking to cancel my plans to do X, Y, and Z, but I don't really want to do my plans. And that really makes me sad. And I don't want to be sad, and I don't want to do that. So, you know what? Maybe I'm not. I'm going to learn to say no. Or maybe I'm going to say, you know what? I can't help you today because I have plans, but I'm happy to help you tomorrow. Or I'm happy to
Mhm.
help you next week. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm still offering to show up
Oh
for
no,
you,
never mind then. I mean, don't worry about it.
and that's
Don't.
okay. And if that person, because most oftentimes you're going to
But
get that
most,
reaction,
hmm
right?
but then
People
the
won't.
person wants to, they'll try to adjust it. Then, oh, okay, let me go on and okay, never mind, we can do it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I
Now both
wouldn't.
people in the feelings and upset.
Yeah, and I wouldn't adjust if that person says, whatever, however they respond. This is what you guys were talking about earlier. Allow that person to respond however they want to respond. The whole purpose of you saying no and setting a boundary was to come back to self. Was
Yeah.
all about you not abandoning you. It had nothing to do with how they're going to behave. We cannot control how other people feel, what other people think, and how other people behave. You
But
are
Natasha,
powerless
would
over that.
some people call that selfish?
So I have a whole concept around selfish. I do not see selfish like you talked about earlier, when we talked about arrogance. It has a negative connotation, but in
Yeah.
recovery, selfish is not a bad thing.
It's not.
You have selfless, self-centered, and selfish.
Yeah.
Selfless is when I think less of myself. The
Mm-hmm.
definition's in the word. Self-centered is when I center everything around
Around
self.
self.
So every time that you do something, I take it personally. That's me centering it about me, when half the time, 99.9% of the time, it ain't got nothing to do with me,
It's
right?
like
It's
such a big
zero. So
zero.
selfish to me is kind of I see it as a balance, a little bit of me, a little bit of you. and it's a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of give and take, a little bit of back and forth. So I see selfish as a healthy thing because it can recovery. I had to be selfish by
Mm-hmm.
putting my recovery and my recovery lifestyle first.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I made a man a priority, if I made the job a priority, if I made money a priority, I would tip the scale and lose balance and relapse as a result,
She
right?
said, "Tilt the scale."
Tip the scale. So for me, selfish is all about that
Me
balance in your
too.
life. Not that I'm not, because I'm going to talk about us who believe in God, right? Well, God said to serve. God didn't say serve to the point that you became the sacrificial lamb, that you stop loving yourself and that you stop taking care of yourself and you continue to abandon yourself just to serve another person.
Yeah.
That is not what God called you to do. And if he did, I need somebody to point that out in the Bible and tell me where he said that, because he didn't say that.
Yeah.
Do you
And not
understand?
you're assuming that he said
Exactly. And a lot of people want to say, well, God said to serve. Yes, he did. But you also need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and that you're constantly going back to him so that he can fill your cup.
yeah.
When you pour from your cup, you need to be pouring from the overflow. You don't pour
Mm-hmm.
from what's inside the cup. What's inside the cup belongs to you, and the overflow is what you give to the people around you.
Yes.
That is what service is all about, and people struggle to understand that because they only want to hear what they want to hear. Now, if I'm keep pouring from my cup and I'm not going back to God to pour into my cup on a daily basis, because sometimes we don't have people in our lives that are pouring into us,
Mm-hmm.
what exactly am I serving up to the world? I'm serving an empty cup but making you think I got something in the cup. Come on now.
But you know what, Natasha, when you pour from a cup that is not already full, that allows people to manipulate you.
Yep.
Oh, of
Allows
course.
people to take advantage of you. That allows people to position you
That's how you hurt. Now your feelings hurt. Now your heart
right.
hurt.
Because when your cup is full and you're pouring from the overflow, then when I say, you know what, no, I've got some other things to do. So you go ahead and have a great time.
Yeah.
And the other person says, well, never mind, forget it. I won't ask you again. I'm not going to be upset because my cup is full. And I'll just be like, you know what, she may be a little upset right now, but she'll get over
She'll
it.
get over
And, it'll be okay. And go on about your business and do what you said you're going to do.
it.
You don't lose sleep. You don't lose peace. You don't lose joy. When your cup is full and you're coming from the overflow, everything that you need is already satisfied
Yeah.
within you. So I don't have to
Amen.
seek validation. I don't have to seek,
Amen.
you to
Reassurance.
reassurance, right? I don't have to, worry about your response and whether or not that's going to impact or affect me in any way. However you respond is how you respond. If you don't want to go, don't go. If you if whatever it is that you feel, I'm not responsible, because I think we take responsibility for how other people are.
Mm-hmm.
If a person feels like some type of way, then we feel like we got to make them feel better. Oh, I didn't want her to feel like that. Oh my God. Well, let me, girl, she over here acting a fool. So let me go
And
ahead.
that
So
ain't
let
your,
me
and
go.
that's not your
Yeah.
responsibility.
We make it
You're
our
not responsible
responsibility.
to sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no, no,
Sorry,
no.
Angela. Go
We
ahead.
all,
No, I'm just saying that we are not responsible to rescue someone from how they're feeling. And so what you're talking about is someone's not feeling good. So somehow, because I'm your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever, that I'm supposed to come in and take your feelings away. Well, that's part of the problem in our society. I
Mm-hmm.
don't need you to take away my feelings. I need to learn on how to
How to
cope with my
deal with them.
feelings.
Yep.
Correct. And if you keep coming and taking my feelings from me, then that leaves me apathetic. It leaves me without feeling. It leaves me feeling numb. Right?
Yep.
Have I learned anything? And
Yeah.
here's the reality of that. Let's capture this visual. I take your feeling from you. Well, first of all, your feeling is not tangible. So it's not something you can reach inside somebody to take. So you, in your mind, delusional, thinking you've taken a feeling away, the person's still feeling it.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
When you walk away and you leave them, they're still feeling it, and they're like, okay, well, this was great. You said you know going to take care of this for me, but I'm stealing this feeling this way. So when you leave, they have not learned on how to cope with that emotion. So they're going to do whatever, wherever, whenever,
Um,
however, to make themselves feel better.
yes.
And when we don't have healthy coping skills in life, that is where we seek out the unhealthy things or the things that are within reach
Yeah.
to postpone, to have that immediate gratification. I want to
Yeah.
feel better and I want to feel better now,
Yeah.
right? because the idea of going for a walk is going to take too long. But if I have that drink right now, if I eat that fried chicken right now, or if I don't know, do whatever it is that
Virgin,
you
yeah.
like to do, that's going to make me feel better instantly.
Yeah.
And that is another thing that we're based on in the society, is this instant fix. Give me
Yeah.
a pill so I can feel better, right?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm not feeling good right now. We need to make me feel better right now.
Yeah.
But
Right.
you're not feeling well didn't happen overnight. That wasn't instant.
Yeah.
So what
Absolutely.
makes you think that this healing process of emotional healing is going to take, people that, well, I've been to the therapist. I've been seeing a therapist for months. I don't like that therapist. They don't know what they're doing because I'm still feeling what I'm feeling. Okay, well, every
You didn't
therapist and
get
every
that feeling
practice,
overnight.
well, and every
It's
therapist
not a
have
magic
different.
pill. We think
Correct.
that it's one thing. You think for all of the years that you have gained weight and you want to be a certain size that somebody's supposed to just magically boop, give you a pill and you're
And
supposed to bounce to whatever size you
instantly.
want to be in. You think because you have been traumatized since 12 that at 36, a couple of conversations with the therapist is supposed to be like, well, I tried the therapy thing. It didn't work for me.
It didn't work for me.
Because number one, to be honest, most of the time when we sit down with someone to have a conversation, we don't give them, we send in our representative.
Yeah.
We're not sending
Hmm.
the healed, we're not sending the true hurt person. We want to send the representative. You know how you tell somebody, well, go on over there and find out what they're talking about. And then just come back and let me know. You want to go send the representative to go in and kind of fill them out and
So
see
you over there playing
how
like you're
how
interested.
far are you going to take me down the rabbit hole? Because if it's too far and I'm just looking, I just want to look over the edge and then you just tell me what, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna be okay. I don't want to go down the hole and deal with all the things. I don't even really want to tell you about when I was 12 and what I, and matter of fact, you think it was 12, but it was really 7
4. Yeah.
Hmm.
4, I think,
Hmm.
Like,
whatever. It was really younger than that, but I mean, 12 is the time that I really could just, kind of verbalize it. But I mean, really, I don't even want to do all that because when I do now, I have to examine the feelings about my dad or my mom or my
mm-hmm.
sibling or, somebody, the teacher at school. You don't know people. It's like a string. You know how somebody says, don't pull that string because if you do it, it'll start unraveling. And now you're going to have your hem loose.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We don't
Well,
want to pull the string because we don't want to have to deal with all the things that go along with it.
That's
so
gonna
I like
spill
I
over.
like I like your analogy of pulling the string and letting down the hem. When you let down the hem, you actually see how long the dress, skirt, whatever it is really is. When we let down the string in our lives, we actually discover the facts.
Yeah.
We actually discover the reality of things. That's where the truth lies, is underneath the hem,
Mhm.
right? So if you
Underneath that
choose
hem, because
so
that
if you
hem
don't
kept it all together.
exactly,
It hid it.
exactly.
You made
So
that skirt real short, but really that's a long.
skirt. Yeah, it's a you unhem and all of a sudden it drops to the knees, right? But before it was like maybe mid thigh or whatever. I love that
Right,
analogy.
right.
And so the reality is, and that's part of this coping strategy, is once you identify how you're feeling, separate feelings from facts.
That's
Because
good, Natasha.
feelings are not facts, right? If I feel sad because you didn't take my call and now I believe I'm not good enough, I need to separate the feelings and ask myself, is that true?
Yeah.
Is it because you're not calling me has something to do with my worth? Is you being mad at me right now or just being mad in general have anything to do with me? We have to stop and evaluate what are the facts.
What are the
And if you
facts?
took the time to evaluate the facts, you will discover it's got nothing to do with you. Nothing. Right?
You're not
As much as
even
you want to
in
be the
the.
center of it all, you are not.
You're
And
not.
Natasha, you know what? Even when we're talking about, I think a lot of times when somebody comes to us, we feel like we have to fix it.
Yep.
You don't have to fix everything. Just because
Yeah.
somebody comes and tells you, you don't have to be the fixer of it all.
Yeah.
But we feel like we've got to run to the rescue. You want to be Captain Save everybody. Let me make sure
Yeah.
that they're good.
And,
Let me be,
and you have made that your assignment of life. I
and
am
nobody
the
gave that
captain
assignment to
of
you.
saver. And then when your captain hat is off, you feel like, why is nobody else coming over here to be a captain saver? Because some people, everybody don't feel like you and not process it and hasn't been through your same trauma. So they don't know you're supposed to be the captain saver.
And sometimes, like you said yesterday when you talked about the baby, about self-soothing. Just
Hmm.
because you lonely don't mean you got to call somebody. You know,
That doesn't always equal, because
right?
no, I love when
Because you
you
can be
even
lonely in
say
a crowd. You can actually be in a crowd
Mm-hmm.
of people and feel lonely. So
and
just
feel
Been there.
because
so
I'm feeling
lonely.
lonely does not mean that if I call someone that's going to change how I feel. There's still something that I have to deal with in and of myself so that I can handle it when I feel it. And I'm not always calling somebody to make me feel better. Like how to bear, make me feel good.
Make me feel good.
So I put something in the chat really quickly. I noticed that we're out of time.
Mhm.
So for anybody that might be taking notes or listening or interested, I gave you some ideas of ways to help emotionally regulate, right? So just kind of a recap of us learning to be aware, taking that pause, identifying feelings, separating feelings from facts. We can, in that moment of pause, you can take a walk, you can journal, you can listen to music, you can go take a shower. There's so many things you can do in that pause. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you stop yourself and say, okay, you know what? I am not going to make this about me. I'm not going to allow myself to get angry. I'm not going to allow myself to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to go do this instead.
Yeah.
It's one simple step. You can grab a journal right where you're at in that moment and write about what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what you might be wanting to do. Because I always say there's a method to the madness when you write out your thoughts. Because when it's just in your head, it's like a Rolodex and it's constantly flipping and you might miss something. But when you write it out and you see it, you're like, whoa. You're like, wait a minute. You then see that very differently. And oftentimes that's where you'll see and you're able to separate the facts and realize, like, wait a minute, this isn't even true. This isn't
It's
even
not even.
me.
That's not even true. Or it'll tell you what you really need to work on, and it's
Correct.
okay to need
Yep.
to work. I mean, we all
Because
have.
we're work in progress. We are a work in progress, and we will continue to be until you check up out of here because
Yeah.
nobody's arrived.
Yeah.
When you
Facts.
understand that, continue to work on yourself and become better each and every single time. But that's going to take
Become
some
the best version of yourself. How do
time.
you do that? Continue to work on you. Continue to
Daily,
work on you.
daily.
And continue to work on you. But we're out of time. We thank you for this week has been a good week. This week has been about emotions. It, yes, it might not have been a whole lot of comments, but we love when you take it in and you're able to process it,
Absolutely.
because our ultimate goal always is in the becoming. We want to face those big old giants that's been playing in our life and
Yes.
been having fun, to say it's time for you to go and you no longer belong here, because now
Mhm.
I recognize you. Because it sometimes you don't
But I see
recognize it because
you.
you've been
I see
busy
you.
so long.
Exactly. You can
But
look
it's
at
time
it
to
in your
go.
face. I see you because you're trying to take me out. That's not,
So Friday, Natasha, is it something that you would like for them to do to tie into this?
Absolutely. I think it would be great that with the list that I just gave of some of the things that we can do to take better care of ourselves and regulate emotions, I would ask everyone, I would challenge everyone to just sit down and reflect and ask yourself, what am I feeling today? And whatever you're feeling today, acknowledge it, allow yourself to feel it, and then utilize one of these healthy coping skills, whether it's writing about it, taking a walk, taking a shower, listening to some positive, uplifting music that can help heal your soul. So the coping strategies are mentioned, and I don't know if we want to put that in a recap, or maybe we will repost it somewhere somehow for the audience. But I would just challenge everyone to put it into practice, because hearing us is one thing, but
Mm-hmm.
you actually doing it takes on a whole different meaning. You being able to
yes.
experience this in real time, you'll see how effective it really is in your ability to regulate and detach from that emotional dependence.
Amen. Listen,
Thank you,
y'all ladies
Tina.
have a good weekend. Thank you for telling us to have a good weekend. We're excited about next week because listen, y'all know how you're in church and the preacher say, I ain't getting that many amens. It's okay because sometimes you need to marinate on the message in order for you to take the time to start doing what you need to do to become better. So,
Yep.
Amen.
And we're wrapping up as well. We are like a 9 day countdown for Becoming Her experience. So I'm telling you, it's going to be phenomenal because you know, like when you've been studying something and you've been researching it, and then you get to come to the actual class of
That
it,
moment. Mm-hmm.
that it's going to, like, God set us up for a moment, for an experience to touch our heart, for us to walk into becoming her, becoming better. Yes, you know, people like, I'm already her. Yeah, but her still saying, you are?
You
Wow.
look, thanks for telling me.
So get your tickets to Becoming Her. If you're in the Georgia area, it's a beautiful drive. It's from 11 to 3. So guess what? You can drive there that morning,
Yes. And
enjoy
then,
the time,
well,
and put you don't even gotta pack a bag. You can pack some little shorts to throw back on and turn back around and drive right back home. And you at church on Sunday. So
wrong part.
come on out. Tickets are only $26. Sow a seed into your 2026. That 2026, I'm going to become her and become better. So get your tickets and come join us. I believe God. Do you believe God? Y'all have anything before we wrap up? Because guess
Bye.
what? Guess who will not be here tomorrow?
Bye.
Have a great weekend.
I believe God.